So we can start going through some of those videos. I think it's Ray's animation videos first, so you can talk through some of these.
Yeah, sure. So this first video is in Motion Builder, which is a kind of a motion capture cleanup software. And you see this is our guy. And in a moment, you'll see a yellow skeleton kind of pop on. And this is actually the first rough mocap for his R ability. In a second, you'll see this yellow skeleton. So basically, that skeleton represents the mocap actor. And we had a great martial artist and actor named Kenji came out and did the mocap for us. So this is basically, we'll have a mocap shoot that usually lasts a couple days. His lasted an extra day. But so once we get that and it's processed, our mocap guy, Jerry Gilland, who is just a superhero. None of these heroes would ever get finished without that dude. Like, that poor guy, holy cow. But anyway, I think he sleeps maybe 2 hours a night. But basically, once we get this data back from him, we sort of look through all these takes, and I'll say, okay, so we had maybe Kenji do this, maybe 12 times, a bunch of different ways. So we look at it and say, okay, of all the things we're looking to get, this is probably the closest thing. So if you want to go on to the next video, in place, you saw how he kind of like buried off to the side on the actual day. So then once this feels like, okay, this feels pretty good, I'll get it to like, I feel like it's maybe 75% of the way there, and then I'll check it in. So if you want to go into the next video, you can see it actually in game. So once it's in, then Scott can start like adding all these crazy effects. We do a camera shake, and then once that stuff's in, I'm like, okay, that's probably good to go. I don't need to do anything else, right?
And you're working with like the mocap artist, like Kenji in this case. Do you kind of have, is there like a lot of guidance in the process? Is it something where you have to go back and record certain abilities again if it's like, hey, we didn't get exactly the look we kind of wanted in game for this one?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. There's kind of a back and forth because the guys like Kenji and these actors, they know way more about like swinging a sword than I do at all. So most of the time they'll bring something like that's natural and interesting more so than what I would actually ask them to do. Mm-hmm. So I try to like, okay, do like the coolest, most interesting thing you can do, and then we'll see like if that informs how we're going to do the attack or the ability. And then we may have some like, well, we always have some preconception in our mind of what the ability is going to look like. Like I'll talk to Billy. Sometimes I'll talk to the effects artist if it's heavy effects. Yeah. Like we'll talk about like, well, what are you guys planning? Like what do you think in your head for this ability? And then we'll carry that into the mocap shoot. So for some of this stuff, like I would ask Kenji, like, do this, and he'd be like, well, you really can't do that, or you really wouldn't do that. And I'm like, but pretty please, just do this. Like, we'll see if it works. And a lot of times it wouldn't work, and sometimes we would just have to make it work in animation or whatever. So it's an interesting back and forth, and we were lucky to have someone who was like really experienced martial artist to help us with Kwang. But that's kind of the way it always is. Like it's definitely a back and forth, and sometimes we come back and we say, you know what, we need to do a pickup shoot because a lot of this stuff didn't work.
Right.
So we'll go back to the mocap stage and shoot cool. A little bit more.
It's always interesting to hear that process about like, yeah, I mean, I don't think I like the hearing about the military, like finding like a military woman like who can hold a gun for Bellica, and like finding a martial artist for Kwang specifically, like having to do that and like work with that like to make sure we get that feel correct in game is I think important.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know, I saw he left a message on Twitter about talking how he was the mocap actor, and I sent him a message right away. I was excited to find out that he was actually working. So I'm like, hey man, you want to meet up and have a coffee or something? He's like, heck yeah. And we just met up, chatted for hours about all sorts of different stuff, and his work and his martial arts, and it was awesome. He's such a nice dude. And definitely gonna work on something in the future too.
I was so confused too because like you tweeted that and I was like, man behind Kwang, like what's and then I like looked at the live stream rundown and I saw Ray had his name in there and I was like, wait, is that? Oh, nice. Yeah. Like that, yeah, that was a realization for me. But I think that was a cool. I don't know how you guys like feel about like all the mocap, but like I thought it was really cool to hear that we got very specific. That's what they do for a living. Like that's why they're doing the mocap for like that's their life. Like basically they started doing the martial arts stuff, then moved eventually to the doing like this kind of mocap stuff and being able to like embody this hero in a certain way. Because like that's what you are really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of games actually don't take advantage of like motion capture and having more lifelike characters in the game. It's always it feels like they just do it in whatever program and stuff, and it kind of feels stiff. But like Paragon, everything feels really natural. It looks natural.
You guys are gonna have some sick plays, so I'm ready for it. Ready for them?
Oh, I'm already planning.
Already planning it out.
The combos.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna let them go do that, and then we're gonna wrap up the stream here. Thanks for coming on, guys.